Singapore is known for its incredible cuisine, and although the ultra-modern city has high-end options, it's most famous for its street food. For generations, thousands of so-called hawkers have been offering savory dishes from their small stalls. But now that's under threat. Christina Ruffini has the story.
In food-obsessed Singapore, being a picky eater isn't a character flaw. It's a national pastime.
Singaporeans are very fussy, in the way, we all have our own, I have my own favorite chicken rice stall, I have my own favorite Hokkien mee stall and stuff, and you can debate all day long about which is the best,
Do you fight about food?
We fight about food, we talk about food, and then we talk about what we're going to have next.
Nowhere is that passion more on display than at the city's open-air food markets or hawker centers, where vendors spend decades perfecting one or two distinct dishes, from sugarcane juice to steaming piles of noodles, all for just a few dollars a plate. Hawker centers are so essentially Singaporean, almost every neighborhood here has one. Tiong Bahru is one of the oldest, and a favorite of locals Lily Lim and Stefan Loh.
Are you fighting about food yet? We're actually agreeing that this is our favorite stall.
In Singapore, if you're going to a hawker center and you want to find something that's good, just look for the stall with all the lines.
That's what she was saying. In the U.S., we would never go to the longest line, but here that's how to tell where the food is good. Yeah. And that red circle in the window? That's a Bib Gourmand Award from the famously finicky and ferociously French Michelin Guide. Is this a big deal for him to be able to display that sticker?
Not really.
No, they just serve food.
And look at the line.
But despite the loyal fan base of certain stalls, hawker centers are losing popularity, especially with young people who tend to prefer the glitzy upscale restaurants of the central business district and their central air conditioning. Are you worried that the next generation is not going to come here?
I am.
KF Sito is a heritage food expert and evangelist.
I blame Instagram, If it's not on Instagram, it doesn't exist.
The food may not necessarily be photogenic, but Sito says Singapore will lose an essential part of its culture if hawkers shutter their stalls.
This is a place where Singapore comes to celebrate not just food, but Singaporeanness. If you come here at lunch, it's packed with people. They don't care who you are. Even our Prime Minister lines up for his food.
He doesn't get to cut the line?
Yeah, he doesn't.
In an effort to help preserve these places and possibly skip the line, the Prime Minister's government has nominated hawker culture for the United Nations list of the intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Starting in 2008, the distinguished roster includes more than 400 global traditions, including Indian yoga and Neapolitan pizza twirling. But waning popularity isn't the only problem.
So he has been selling it for 30 over years. His children have all grown up, done their degrees. None of his kids is going to take over. So when he goes, this whole thing goes. This whole thing goes.
What do you do about that? Because it seems like if you're a hawker and you do well, you want your kids to not be hawkers, and then the stand goes away.
Fortunately, there are a breed of newer or younger hawkers who will say, hey, if he goes, there's a void. Yeah.
Young upstarts like Kai, who gave up a sales job to open this roast paradise pork stall off Old Airport Road. I know your customers are happy, but do you think you're happier doing this than you were at your sales job?
Yes, although it's equally stressed.
At $10 a plate, it's the most expensive hawker dish we tasted, but also one of the best. But for Singaporeans to keep coming here, Lily and Stefan say a younger, new generation of hawkers will be key. And although they appreciate the international acclaim, hawker centers will disappear unless they continue to give this island of fanatical foodies exactly what they're after: exceptionally crafted food at an unbelievable price.
Because it's something that we're all passionate about. It divides us, but at the same time, it unites all of us.
I wanted to agree with him, but my mouth was full.
Oh my God, that's really good.
For CBS This Morning Saturday, Christina Ruffini, Singapore.
Go, Christina.
Practicing participatory journalism at its best.
Absolutely.
What amazing food it looked like. It'd be a shame to lose culture like that.
It would be really a shame.
We should all go.
Yes.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Just to check it out.
All right.